Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. So yes, I am playing some more Teamfight Tactics games. This is taken from a double-up game with Antisocial Monkey. The main reason why I'm playing these games is, I mentioned this in the last video that I posted, there are a lot of rewards on the 5th year anniversary celebration that's going on, and I need to play some games to do that. In order to get those rewards, the only downside is that I have to play TFT set 11 to get them, but double up mode is always a lot more fun than single player mode. In this game, we're going to be looking at a ghostly team composition. Some of you might even remember that back at the beginning of this set, I had said a bunch of times, I was like, I'm trying to get a game on footage where I have a game where I play Senna and I play vertical ghostly, but I just couldn't seem to find any footage of that. I could never seem to get a game put together, and this time I actually was able to go in that direction, so that's what we're going to be looking at here. This is also going to be an unusual game because we have drawn the Yorick encounter where everybody starts with the ability to play 7 units simultaneously on the board. I've had this before. I think this is the 3rd time that I had this, and I believe I put one of those previous games on YouTube. I really don't like it because it's a very, very, very weird very weird way to start out the game. The base thing is because you get to play 7 units, there's really no purpose to leveling like at all. You obviously by leveling you increase your shop odds, but you really do not, it really doesn't affect anything else. It just affects the odds in the shop because you already get to play 7 units. Normally, of course, when you get to play multiple units, you leveling means you get to put more units on the board, but it really doesn't do that here. Anyway, so I'm trying to shuffle something out. I had the initial Senna on the initial round, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, I actually think this would be a decent game to try to run Senna and Ghostly board, because I also had 2 Kates in the initial shop. And then I got both Senna and Aatrox. That's why I was thinking that Senna and Aatrox both have Ghostly trait. Or wait a minute. No, Senna or Aatrox doesn't have Ghostly trait. He has a whole bunch of traits, but Ghostly's not one of them. He's Bruiser and Ink Shadow, and what's his other trait? He's Bruiser, Ink Shadow. No, he is Ghostly. Okay, Bruiser, Ghostly, Ink Shadow. Then who is the other Ghostly unit that I had? I had the Caitlyn, I had the Senna. Oh, Senna's not Ghostly. That's right, Senna's not Ghostly. For some reason, I was thinking she was. She's Ink Shadow Sniper. Okay, that's the unit I was missing. But I was thinking of playing around Ghostly trait with Senna as the featured unit. So yeah, she herself does not have Ghostly trait, but she's typically played on a Ghostly board because she synergizes really well with a bunch of the other units. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and look to make some stuff here for the Senna. I believe I go ahead and make a Last Whisper because it's a very good item on Senna. It's one of her core items. She is basically the same itemization as Ashe. You want Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, and then the 3rd item is kind of whatever. Well, I guess Ashe wants Rageblade, and Rageblade is not as useful for Senna. It's not bad on her, but it's not quite as core to her as the way it is on Ashe. But yeah, Last Whisper Infinity Edge tends to be pretty good. So I'll just make the Last Whisper right now. The Rod, I'm not quite sure what I want to do with. I also have gotten an Ink Shadow item, and this is the Ink Shadow item that causes your unit to dash towards the enemy target. It's good on melee units, good on melee carries. I don't really have a great user for it, unfortunately. So I'm going to put it on Aatrox as kind of the best user I can think of to put it on. Anyway, this is also going to be a really weird start to the game because remember, everybody's playing 7 units on their board. It's really hard to evaluate board strength, who's good, who's weak. I think that my setup is good in terms of traits, but not so good in terms of units because I only have 1 2-star unit, and that's the Cho'Gath. Every other unit on my board is a 1-star unit. So, like I said, trait-wise, I think this is pretty good. 3 Ink Shadow, 2 Behemoth, 2 Ghostly, 2 Sniper, 2 Warden. But trait-wise, but like in terms of the actual units, they're all 1-stars, so it's not that great. I have a Caitlyn pair and a Garen pair and a Malphite pair. So this is just what I'm running with for the time being, and then we'll go from there. There's a Teemo here, but remember, I'm going to be playing through the Senna in this game, and Senna has Sniper trait, not Trick Shot trait, so that's the plan there. As far as what Antisocial Monkey is doing, typically he plays Cog reroll, but you might have noticed I'm not picking up Cog Malls. There's one in the shop right here. That's because he was also trying to fill out one of these event passes, and he needed to do a Dryad game to get the experience for the pass that was associated with playing Dryad trait. So he was going to force Dryad trait in this game, and so I am going to try to find Dryad units for him, but as it turns out, you might have noticed I haven't seen any Dryad units yet. No Rek'Sais, no Nars, no Kindreds thus far, so I'm not really seeing any of those units that I would want to be playing with a board like this. Anyway, I up against a Yone in this board, and I was kind of hoping I could at least kill that unit. The Soraka and the Yone both survived with 1% health, so he took a little bit more damage than we otherwise would have. So I also have the chance to play something else. Oh, one other thing is when you get the big team competition like this, you often can play Exalted because you just have so many units on the board. It's easy to toss in extra units for Exalted. And that's not a bad call necessarily here. So like I can go ahead and do this replacement. Either one of these, both Malphite and Yorick are going to have the Behemoth trait. And I do get Exalted trait from Yorick. So I'm actually only missing one unit for Exalted. But I can't remember if I end up checking that or not. I also, at some point in time, got a lesser champion duplicator, the cheap one. So that's also handy if I'm going to try to go for Senna 3-star. That's going to give me one more copy of that unit because, of course, I can't use it on the more expensive units. And I would like to be able to find more of them. I mean, I still just have the one Senna so far. And this round, by the way, is a total disaster. Look at this. Do I kill even one unit? I think I get one. I think I get one of the 6 units, which is pretty rough. Well, one other thing that happens is when everybody has the 7 units on the board, if you're taking losses early in the game, you actually lose a lot more health than normal because all those extra units on the board are costing you extra health because, yeah, the more units that are on the board, the more damage you take. And instead of there being like 4 units on the board, there's 7. So, yeah, you don't really want to loss streak through the early game here. But by the same token, you don't really want to roll early on either because you just want to get to 50 gold as fast as possible with this setup. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take the Alawi here. Alawi is a unit I definitely want to play on this board. She's another ghostly unit, and she's also just a better warden than what I have in there. So I'll just replace Garen with her and go from there. Now the unit I need to find is Shen, because Shen is the other early ghostly unit, and that'll allow me to get up to 4 ghostly if I can find a Shen. Unfortunately, Shen is looking like he's going to be pretty contested in this lobby. Also, I should play the Malphite over the Yorick, because Malphite's a 2-star unit. And then I can sell to get to the 30 gold. I had the items for Redemption, so I just went ahead and made that. I don't think Redemption's that good of an early game item. I think it's a little bit better late game, but I don't really have a good way to use tiers. And by the way, there's a Shen coming over, so I was like, all right, I'll just play the Shen over the Malphite. Even though Malphite's a 2-star unit, I'm not going to be playing Malphite. I don't have any units in for Heavenly Trait. Malphite's not that valuable right now. But the Shen does get me up to Ghostly 4. So we'll go with that. As I said, I don't really have a good way to use tiers in this composition, so I just went ahead and made the Redemption so I can start getting some value out of that. And Redemption's a good item. It's going to scale pretty well into the late game, and like I said, it allows me to kill a tier and still make a useful useful item for frontline purposes. So our board's starting to look a little bit better, and getting up to the 4 ghostly is definitely going to help. So while we've got a minute here while this round's running down, let's go ahead and cover what the Ghostly trait does, because I don't think I've featured Ghostly trait in any of my videos. This is a new trait in the set. There hasn't really been a trait like this before, and Ghostly traits had an awful lot of bugs associated with it. On the PvE back before the set release, this trait was extremely buggy, and it's gone through a whole bunch of bug fixes. Anyway, here's the official descriptor. Upon dealing or taking damage 5 times, so dealing damage or getting hit 5 times, Ghostly units send 2 specters to haunt nearby enemies. They also heal 2% max health every 2 seconds. Haunted enemies take bonus damage for each specter on them and pass the specters on death. So again, after attacking 5 times or taking damage 5 times, they send out 2 ghosts. The Ghostly units then heal. And then the enemy units that have the little ghosts on them take extra damage per ghost on them. So they do stack. At Ghostly 4, it's 10% per Spectre. So if you're watching this fight, we are going to stack up the ghosts. By the way, this person has 2-star Shen, which is not what I want. Apparently, they're playing some kind of Umbral board here. But like, you will see the Spectres start to stack up. And every time that they get a little ghosty on them, it's 10% additional damage taken. So and those do pass on death. So Ghostly boards do get stronger and stronger as the fights go on. So like this poor Ari back there has like 8 ghosts on her. That's like 80% additional damage. So Ghostly units, they often are weak at the start of fights, but like as the fights go on, as they stack up those ghosts, they do get stronger and stronger. So you do have to be careful. They can be deceptively strong, and it can look like you're winning a fight, and then all of a sudden at the end, suddenly you're like, wait, where did my team go? Because you got all those ghosts. And ended up a lot weaker than you thought because all of a sudden there were so many ghosts on the board. All right, well, I do find another Senna there. That's pretty nice. But look at my board. I'm pretty happy again with the units I have. These are basically the units I want to play. And my trait, my trait matrix over there is pretty good. 4 Ghostly, 3 Ink Shadow, 2 Behemoth, 2 Sniper, 2 Warden. These are basically all the units I'd want to play until I can get like later on in the game and replace that like Jax with a better unit. But they're all 1-stars. The only unit that's a 2-star is the Cho'Gath, and the Cho is going to come off this board later on. So every other unit it's a 1-star unit here. So that's unfortunate. At least I'm pretty rich. I'm actually going to keep selling these units. And now that I have 50 gold, I can get up to level 5 pretty easily. I go ahead and pre-level to level 5, so I'll have a better shop here. And I do finally find a Dryad unit. Remember, I'm looking for them for Antisocial Monkey. I finally find one. I'm going to go ahead and level to 6 here. And now that I'm level 6, I will stop and start re-rolling on level 6 because there are a whole bunch of units I want to find on level 6. Again, my main carry is going to be Senna in this game. I have 2 out of 3 Sennas. That's not a lot, but I'm hoping I can at least get the 2-star Senna. I also would want to pick up Aatrox. That's a 2-cost unit. I'd like to pick up Shen. Shen is intended to be the main carry in this team composition. He is Behemoth plus Ghostly in here, and he has a defensive trait. So I'd like to pick up all of those units. And then the nice thing is, remember, I'm playing in a game with Antisocial Monkey who's going for Dryad. So I can also look for Nars. That's a 2-cost unit. And I can also look for Kindred. So that's another 2-cost unit. So I'm really playing around these 2-cost units. As I said, I want to get Senna, Aatrox, Shen, Gnar, and Kindred. That's like half of the 2-cost units. So both of us are going to stay here on level 6 for a little while, where we have the best odds to hit these 2-cost units. Also, nice timing here from ASM. I was just about to lose that round, but I'm able to keep my modest 3-match win streak intact here for the time being. Now, the bad news is I'm pretty contested on a lot of these units, and that is unfortunate here. So I want to look for what else I can get here. Little Buddies is not terrible, but it's not going to do anything until the late game, so I wouldn't mind waiting until the late game. I don't think that one's the most useful one that I can have here. The Thief's Glove one is always decent. Slammin', not terrible either, but I'm not sure if I want to rush items there. I did think about Jeweled Lotus, but I think I'm going to take Sleight of Hand instead. And this is in part because in Double Up, it's just easier to get Thief's Gloves. There is a gift round where you have the chance to get Thief's Gloves. By the way, there's a Kindred, so we'll definitely snap that up. And another Gnar. The Syndro is not useful for this board. And hey, I hit 2-star Senna, so I'll take that for right now. But like, yeah, in this game mode, you pretty frequently can get 2-star, you can pretty frequently get Thief's Gloves, and this is just in general a useful item. So not only does it give you a Thief's Glove, the units that hold them also get additional health. So we want to put this on somebody, and I was looking around and I was like, there's a ton of people playing Shen. I don't think I'm going to be able to hit 3-star Shen. So because of that, I will not look to itemize Shen as my main tank. I'll run Shen as like an off tank and put the Thief's Glove on him, and I'll try to run Alawi as my main tank in this game instead. So that was the thinking there. Now this person's playing Vertical Heavenly. They have the augment where you get additional rerolls if you're playing a Heavenly board. And they apparently hit a very, very early 3-star Malphite. They also have 8 out of 9 Kha'Zixes. So that board is way stronger than me to start. They just got a whole bunch of free rerolls, and apparently we're hitting all the Heavenly units. So that board is looking pretty strong for right now. I haven't really seen anyone run 3-star Malphite as a unit. But apparently they had 3-star Malphite, and it worked really well there. We also now get this encounter that basically functions as a gold item remover. So anytime we put a unit on the bench, we knock their items off. And I see this, I was like, Silas. Okay, well, you know what? I think it's better to play Silas than the Jax. Now, I lose Ink Shadow trait, but the Ink Shadow item wasn't really doing anything. I also lose Warden trait, but that's not that valuable. So you know what we'll do? We'll move the Thief's Glove over to Silas, and now Silas can be kind of like secondary carry. So I lost Warden trait, and I picked up Bruiser trait in the trade. That's roughly even, I think, there. And then I lost Ink Shadow, but again, the Ink Shadow item was only on the Aatrox, who wasn't really doing much of anything. And now I've got a Silas who can be like a bit of a carry in his own right here. With the Thief's Glove giving him extra health, plus him having the Bruiser bonus, he's actually going to have an awful lot of health, and he'll be able to just stand around, he'll soak up damage, he'll give time for the ghostly units to deal more damage in the fight. You get the idea. Here's something unfortunate. This person's actually also playing a ghostly board. They already have a ghostly crest. They also have found a Morgana as well. So it's like, really? Ghostly does not get played very much, and I'm actually going to be contested on Ghostly in this lobby. I was like, well, that's disappointing, but I don't know what else I can do. It's too late to swap now. I mean, I guess I could technically swap and play something else, but I kind of built this board, so I'm going to stick with it for right now. Now, if that was bad news, here's a bit of good news. There's a Kayn on this carousel, and Kayn is one of the 2 4-cost ghostly units. The 4-cost ghostly units are Kayn and Morgana. There's no 5-cost ghostly units. So I am very happy to pick up this Kayn, and I also have another glove, so that's potentially half of an Infinity Edge for the Senna. It can also be half of a Thief's Glove, because remember, I get the bonus health on Thief's Glove. So glove is a really good item for me to pick up. And I've also got Kayn here, so I'll just look to play Kayn on this board over somebody. Got to be better than something on my board right now, playing the Kayn. So that'll give me another damage source as well. I think I can just play it over the Aatrox, because What is Aatrox doing? I guess giving me Bruiser trait. I still have to play this over something. So we'll look to play this over something. Or I could also level to 7 and play the Cane. That's also a possibility. I think I made the decision that I would just look to go to level 7 and play the Cane. And I'll go ahead and drop the Cho for right now. Part of the reason why I wanted to do this is I did get a 4th Senna, and Antisocial Monkey is right around a 2-star Senna that he's going to be able to send me. So I believe between the two of us we have 7 Sennas. Okay, this was the gift round. I was able to take the components, and I'll go ahead and make Bramble Vest with this. I'm reasonably happy with this. And then the question I was like, do I want to... Oh, and there's the 2-star Senna coming over from ASM. So I was like, okay, I have 7 out of 8 Senna, so I'm pretty sure I can hit Senna 3-star. But then I'll look to go ahead and level, so I can go ahead and try to find Morgana and have Morgana get me up to the 6 Ghostly. So I was thinking I was going to sit and reroll here for a while on level 6, but it turns out I end up not doing that. And that's because I found the Cane, which kind of wanted me to increase the level on my board so I could play the Cane. And also Morgana. I don't have very good odds to find Morgana on level 6. And then ASM also got me the extra Sennas. So with the extra Sennas, there wasn't really much of a need to stick around here much longer. I can look to just find the remaining 2. Oh, I only need 1 more. I have the duplicator. That's right. I have the champion duplicator. So I only need 1 more Senna. Now I have the chance to gift something back to ASM, so I'm going to look to gift him something. I believe he takes the Thief's Glove, but I could be wrong. He might want the 2-cost champions for once because he is trying to find those Dryad units. And yeah, he actually takes that because he wants the Dryad units. Okay, so I decided, all right, I'll roll for the last Senna. I find the last Senna, and I also found another Gnar for him, so let's just duplicate the Senna. No need to waste time sticking around here, and now we'll just look to level to higher levels and try to find Morgana so we can get up to the 6 Ghostlies. Now, interestingly enough, look at my board. I have 3-star Senna, and she has really good items. Infinity and Last Whisper are like her 2 best items. Now, here's the downside. Every single other unit is a 1-star. I still have only found 1 Aatrox the whole game. I've actually not found any Aatroxes. The Aatrox came out of my... didn't I get that from the... I got the Aatrox on the very first minion round of the game when I got Aatrox and Senna out of the first minion round of the game. But I have not found any Aatroxes since then. I found 2 Shens. I found 2 Kates. I have an Alawi that I only got because I took it off the carousel. And I have the Silas that I found at 2% odds or whatever. So I need to get to higher levels, and I need to 2-star my board because it's honestly kind of shocking that I have not been able to find more than this. I've really been struggling on all these units. And that's because I'm contested. Ghostly is very contested in this lobby. Remember, there's this other person playing Ghostly. I think we were actually up against their board right there. So Ghostly's contested, and there's also apparently a ton of people playing Shen in this lobby for some reason. Shen is just like super popular. Anyway, now it's time for the next gift round, or not gift round, the champion send is back. So I was trying to ask Antisocial Monkey, do you want me to send a 1-star version of Gnar, or should I hold out and try to find the 2-star version? Like, what do you want me to do here? And we were trying to talk it over, and we were going to try to send the Kindred, but... it actually times out. And the reason why we're trying to do this is the next round, the champion send transforms, and it takes 7 rounds to cool down instead of taking 4 rounds to cool down. So we're trying to get that off before it transformed, but did not manage to do it fast enough, unfortunately. Anyway, now I'm just going to continue looking to level here. I have some items here, so I'm going to go ahead and look to make a Morelos. You might say, what in the world are you doing? This is a Morelos. It's intended for... Morgana later on. Morelos is her most important, or is her best and most important item. I have no heal cut in my team right now, so I definitely want to get Morelos, and I really had no one to put it on. In retrospect, I think it would have been better on Kayn because Kayn spins around and he hits multiple targets at once, but I was just trying to put the Morelos on somebody. Remember, this item will pop off when I bench the unit, so I can get this off Kate whenever I bench the unit, and I just wanted to put it on somebody, but yeah, Kate is a terrible user of Morelos. I'm well aware of that. Like I said, I think in retrospect, Kayn would have been a little bit better just because his spins hit multiple people at a time. But really, Senna's the carry right now. Senna's the one doing all the damage. And yeah, I can see she did 8,100 damage. And Kate actually did do the second most damage for what that's worth. But Kate's damage is always a little inflated on the charts because she overkills units in a way that's not actually that helpful. Anyway, I don't think that Alawi can kill all the remaining units, so... we are going to lose that one. And by the way, it doesn't feel like we've lost that many rounds, but we're all the way down at 49 health. Again, that's a sign that the fact that everybody's had all these units from the start of the game has definitely meant that you take more damage on losses. Now I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to play for my last augment here. And I was like, oh, Haunted House. Enemies that die while haunted by a ghost pass on 2 more specters. So now when a unit dies... they pass on 2 additional Spectres. So this is a great, great augment when you're running Vertical Ghostly. And in fact, remember, I just need to find Morgana. You can see now that I have 2-star Shen, I'm going to transfer my items over to Shen because 2-star Shen better than 1-star Alawi over there. But yeah, I only need Morgana to get 6 Ghostly in, and then 6 Ghostly is 16% additional damage per Spectre. So any unit that dies is going to, what is it? They're going to pass on 2 additional Spectres. So if they have 2 on them already, when they die, they'll pass on 4, and every one of them is 16%. That's a lot. I mean, okay, I don't have Morgana yet, but she'll be in relatively soon. I just need to find her, and I should be able to find her on level 8. By the way, this person... Oh, and this is the other reason why so many Shens were out of the pool. This person had Ethereal Blade Shen, which is the Shen carry augment. So they have a Shen in the back lines with Rage Blade, and they're trying to find Shen 3-star as well. So anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm never going to hit Shen 3-star. That's never going to happen. But... I do have 2-star Shen, and that's good enough. That's good enough. Shen is not the main carry on this board. Senna is our main carry, and then later on we're going to add Morgana and the Kayn. The Kayn does not have any items yet, but I should be able to get him some items before this game is over, or at least that's the hope anyway. All right, and I finally have 2-star Kate, so okay. And now I could just about go to level 8. I decided I would go to level 8 on the next round. I would have leveled here, but there's really not much for me to put in. I mean, I guess I could put Kindred in for Reaper trait, which would not be terrible, but that wouldn't really do all that much for me. So I decided I would just hold here, and then I'd roll it down on the next round. I still have that Silas in there. The Silas has been really useful. I'm hoping that eventually I can replace that with Udyr, because Udyr would be a behemoth, and I believe I could potentially get Ink Shadow trait back in again with that as well. Yeah, I think Udyr would be a really good user of that Thief's Glove. So that's the hope there. I still need to find Morg. And by the way, this person has a 2-star Morg. It's like all the units I want are super contested in this lobby. Like there's so many people playing Shen, so many people playing Kayn, people playing Morgana. It's just like everything I have is contested. But like Senna's doing a pretty good job of melting this enemy team. Once we get those ghosts stacked up on them, Senna's damage just shoots through the roof. I should probably read her champion description. I'll do that after this carousel here. So anyway, it's time to pick something else off the carousel. Looks like we're going to get reasonable carousel priority. That team that was in first place has been losing a lot of health recently. But let's see what we can go ahead and find here. And Wukong adds a Radiant item to each champion in the carousel. I was like, really? Really? Just in time for me to be last pick. Now there's a Radiant item on each thing on the carousel. Again, this is one of those encounters that just I hate. It really screws me over, having the fact that all these people get to pick first on Radiant items. At least ASM got to pick something pretty good. He was able to go and pick up a Radiant Archangels. And the good news is there is something decent here. I can pick up the Hand of Justice, and that's going to be really good on one of my units. So I was thinking initially, why don't I put this on Kayn? Because Hand of Justice, that is going to be pretty good on having Kayn. Anyway, let's do our roll down here. We're looking for Morgana. That's the unit we really need. I mean, I guess I can pick up Kate's, but Kate 3-star is really unlikely. But and it turns out Antisocial Monkey found a Morgana, so we'll just look to put this on her. Very good. Now I'm just trying to 2-star more of my board because I still have an awful lot of 1-star units here. All right, there's an Alawi. Can I at least get like 2-star Alawi? Those Ashes would have been nice in some other games, but I can't really fit them in here. And then I'm going to continue picking up some... some of these Reaper and Dryad units, or really just Dryad units for Antisocial Monkey. So I'll pick up the Ornn. He already has Gnar 3-stars, so he doesn't need me to pick up that Gnar that you see in the store. And I would just like to 2-star a little bit more on my board before going on to anything else. The good news is, again, now I have the 6 Ghostly. So remember, now it's 16% bonus damage for any enemy unit that has those ghosts on them. So once the ghosts start getting stacked up, the damage just goes through the roof. And Senna in particular is just absolutely beasting people in these rounds. So I'll look to keep rolling a little bit more. But remember how I put the Radiant Hodge or Radiant Hand of Justice on the Kayn? I think it was around this point in time I was like, wait a minute, Senna's a 3-star unit, Kayn's a 1-star unit. Why don't I just put this on the Senna? It even has the crit synergy. I have IE Last Whisper, and Hand of Justice does give him more crit chance as well. Also, it's time to pick another item, and I was like, I think Morgana is a better person to put this on, because Kayn tends to die in the fights, but Morg tends to be like the last one alive. So you know what? We'll take advantage of that Malphite encounter from earlier. We'll put this Hand of Justice on the Senna. I'm going to send that Kindred over to ASM, because he is 1 Kindred off, Kindred 3-star. He also had a duplicator, so he was able to make the Kindred 3-star as it pops up on the interface. Now I'm just trying to roll to 2-star Kayn and Morgana here. If I could 2-star some of them, I'd be happy to go level 9. But I think I need to 2-star at least one of these units before I look to go level 9. Also would really like to 2-star the Alawi, because my front line is still pretty shaky here. I guess Shen's items are not terrible, but I really would like to get at least another 2-star frontliner. Anyway, Senna is just absolutely destroying people right now. It's not even close. Look at the damage. She cut through the whole enemy team in literally like 8 seconds. So like I said, once we get those ghosts stacked up, it's pretty ugly over there. Anyway, we're going into a minion round, so let me go ahead and read Senna's actual ability, because I haven't featured her in a video. All right, as I said, her traits are Ink Shadow and Sniper. We're only using this Sniper trait here. Her ability is called Absolution, costs 75 mana. Fire a laser 2 hexes beyond the current target, deals physical damage to enemies hit, grant attack damage to Senna and allies to the left and right for 4 seconds. So that's why you often position Senna like next to Ashe in a sniper's board. Anyway, damage is, let's see, 260% AD at 3-star. It's lower than that at 1 and 2-star. And then, yeah, it gets that attack damage bonus. So yeah, her recommended items are Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, and then the last one is just whatever. You can do Rage Blade, Giant Slayer, Death Blade. Any of those are fine. Radiant Hand of Justice is nice here. Also nice because she actually heals off the damage dealt too. So if by some chance somebody jumps on top of her, she can actually heal off the damage. Anyway, I'm trying to fill out the rest of my board. I get the chance to do another Thief's Glove, so I'm very happy with that. Just relying on Thief's Gloves for frontline, basically. Now I want to finish itemizing Shen, and I was like, you know what? I think I actually might want to do an Ionic Spark here, because the damage from the ghosts is actually magic damage. So actually having a shred for MR would actually be pretty good here. It's like, can I hit Kane or Morg? Maybe, please? Can I hit either of these units? Okay, apparently we're not going to hit Kane 2-star or Morgana 2-star here. Like I said, these units are contested. So I was trying to figure out, and I was like, I think I just want to do Ionic Spark, because the damage from the ghosts is magic damage. And I think that that'll help with Morgana's damage, and I think it'll just help shred the enemy team. So I don't quite have as many traditional tank items here, but I do have some useful ones with like the Redemption and the Ionic Spark. So Senna did 16,000 damage, and if you might notice, half of her damage was magic. Again, that's the Ghostly increasing the damage that she does. Normally she doesn't do that much magic damage, so I think the Ionic Spark is pretty handy here. Now there's an Azir in the shop, so I was like, hey, ASM, do you want Azir for your Dryad board? And he actually said he didn't think that he wanted Azir because he didn't really have a good way to get Azir on the board. Note that he does have 8 out of 9 Rek'Sai, so I can send him a 2-star Rek'Sai, or I can send him one more Rek'Sai for Rek'Sai 2-star, or excuse me, Rek'Sai 3-star, which is probably worthwhile to do. We also have a gift round here, and I'm going to take some components here. So now I definitely have to put these items on someone. I was like, all right, I really wanted items for Kane. I'm not sure that I'm going to get that here. So I guess I can continue putting items on the front line, I guess. I just have to itemize the Aatrox, even though this is not what I want. But I can always move these to somebody else if I get like an Udyr later on or something. I can always move these to someone else. So I really would have liked more items for Kane, but I got more tank items there. So it is what it is. Senna does enough damage. So just having like tons and tons of tanks with Senna behind them to kill things is actually not that bad. So here's the other Ghostly board. There goes the other Ghostly board. Apparently I built my Ghostly board a lot better than they built theirs, because we just absolutely annihilated them in just a matter of seconds. That's the only other team that has like any amount of health, and we just knocked out one of the other teams here. So Antisocial Monkey has the Morgana little legend with this animation, so I just let that play so people can see. Now ASM's board has kind of started to take off as well, because he has Kindred 3-star, Gnar 3-star on a 6 Dryad, or not a 6 Dryad, a 4 Dryad board. And he also has the Heavy Hitters augment, which is supposed to be one of the best augments in the game when you're running a Dryad setup. Heavy Hitters is you do more damage based on how much health you have. And Dryad units, what do they get? They get scaling max HP, so they just get more and more health. All right, now there's the Udyr. So I was like, okay, I definitely want to play this. I've liked having Silas in here as well. Let's clear the Kates. We're not going to have that. I can bench the Silas, and I could maybe play the Silas again on level up when I get to like level 9. So I think I definitely want to play this over the Silas. That actually puts the Ink Shadow item back in play. So I'll just put this Tattoo of Force on Kane. It's actually a pretty good item on Kane. And now I still just have to get, I have 2 out of 3 Kanes. I have 2 out of 3 Silases. Now if I can just get another Kane and then 2 Morgs, I'll feel pretty content. I mean, I'm still winning all these rounds, but I would really like to be a little bit stronger. It is now down to just us and this other team, so there's only 2 of our teams left in the lobby, and this is definitely the stronger of the 2. This person is the person who's playing the Heavenly board, and I'm pretty sure, I think I actually was going to lose that round to the Soraka, but ASM gets there just in the nick of time after Senna killed everything else. So yeah, they have one person who's running the ghostly board. The ghostly board that's not as good as my ghostly board. And then the other person is running that heavenly reroll board that's featuring like Soraka, Malphite, etc. All right, so now it's time for me to pick. I wouldn't have minded the Thief's Glove, but the Thief's Glove gets grabbed. I would have taken that because remember, I get stronger than normal Thief's Gloves. But because I have so many frontline items, I'll go ahead and take this Gunblade for Morgana. And hey, there's an extra Morgana. Nice. Now, can I find another version of this unit? I was like, do I want to drop some of these? ASM does have an Alawi over there, so I could maybe try to stack Alawis, but ultimately I decided to drop that, or drop the extra Silas. And then I picked Silas back up again. I guess I couldn't make up my mind. So there's Silas 2-star, so okay, I was like, all right, I do think I want to get to level 9 so I can play this unit. And there we go, there's finally the Kayn. Okay, so now I'm just one morgue away, and I think it's definitely time to go to level 9 now. Pretty confident that I can go there. But I do have the 2-star Kayn, and Kayn has the Tattoo of Force behind a very tanky front line and like lots and lots of ghostly ghost emblems, or the little ghosties. So I just need Kayn to like spin into the back line, and then he can do his thing. And yeah, we look like we are a lot stronger than that board. By the way, they have 7 Alawis over there, so I guess I'm not going to hit Alawi 3-star either, as I get continue to be contested in this game. Anyway, though, yeah, I won that round pretty easily. That was the weaker of the two boards. And I'm going to get the send up again. So I have to ask ASM, does he want me to send the Ornn 2-star or the Rek'Sai 1-star? It might sound silly, but he actually wants the Rek'Sai 1-star because that's going to make Rek'Sai 3-star over on his board. He has 8 out of 9 Rek'Sais, and he just went level 9. So the odds of him finding Rek'Sai on level 9 are not particularly great. Anyway, I'm hoping I can win this round. If I can win this, I'll go into the minion round with a 11-match win streak. And there we go. ASM was able to find a Morgue for me. So there we go. I've got the Morgue 2-star. I'm feeling good. I'll level to level 9 after the minion round, and then we'll put in Silas, and he'll get Bruiser trait back in play, and just be an in general good unit to have. And maybe I can get another Silas, or another, either something for Silas or something for Kayn. On the minion round. So this was the board that like I very narrowly lost to last time around, but I'm hoping that I'm a little bit stronger now that I have Morgue 2-star, Kayn 2-star, and it looks like I am stronger now. Yeah, Senna just pops that unit. Again, if you're wondering why does Senna just like annihilate that unit so badly, it's because that unit has like 20 ghosts on it. Because we've been stacking up ghosts the entire fight. Now there is also the case to be made of, do I want to play Set here at the end? There's the Rek'Sai going over for Rek'Sai 3-star. It's like, do I want to play the Set here over the Udyr? I don't think so though. Over the Silas. I think I want to play the Silas though, because I'm not running Warden. Well, no, I am running Warden trait. I have the Alawi in there. I guess I could run the Set, and that wouldn't be bad. But I have a 2-star Silas over there, so I think I'm just gonna stick with that. I think if I were to like trying to super cap this board, 2-star Set would definitely be better than 2-star Silas, but. Silas gives me Bruiser trait, and let's face it, the other team has 1 HP, so I'm probably not going to be able to hit 2-star Set before the end of the game. All right, let's roll. Can we hit one more Udyr for Udyr 2-star? That would be pretty nice. Any chance? I might as well grab these 5-cost units, and I need enough gold to roll. I don't know. There it is. There it is. I have enough gold to roll with. So yeah, there we go. 2-star Udyr. Okay, that's feeling pretty good. Now I have another item, so let's grab something for Kayn. Give him a Hand of Justice. And I think my board's pretty strong at this point. I got the 2-star Kayn, 2-star Morgue. Oh, and I'm going to move these tank items over to Silas. Yep, because he will make better use of them than Aatrox, definitely. And we'll put the Tattoo of Force back on Kayn. And yeah, again, I'm up against the other ghostly player, but like, is this a close round? The answer is no. We are much stronger than our competing ghostly player. It is not even remotely close, and I just absolutely shred through this team. I think I only had like 1 unit die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I only had 1 unit die in that fight. So then we come over here, and I think Antisocial Monkey was well ahead of that other board anyway. But so we'll take this, and I think I finish on like a 13-match winning streak or something like that. Nice way to end the game. Note that it's over on 6-1. Remember, everybody was taking more damage from losses because everybody started with 7 units. So yeah, kind of a short game, but I'll take it. And it looks like even though we hadn't played double up, I don't think we'd played a double up game in almost 2 months. But apparently we weren't that rusty because we were able to win without too much trouble in this one. And I get to experiment with a ghostly team, which I hadn't managed to feature on stream before. The one last thing I'll mention is look how contested we were. I think 6 different teams were playing Shen in this game. Look how contested we were. This was just ridiculous. But we were still able to put the units together and still won a very comfortable first place. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this game. Until next time, hope everybody's doing well. Take care, folks, and I'll see you again soon.